أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear friends, welcome to Idea Foundation Forum. Today in lecture 283, we will discuss reality of the sun and moon, sun and the moon, as 30th issue under the Qur'an and Modern Sciences related to astrophysics. The Qur'an categorizes the stars and the sun as celestial bodies pertaining to space, who burn their fuel and radiate light to illuminate their surroundings, and the planets and their satellites reflect the light coming from the sun and thus appear bright. Sun is light producer, star and sun, whereas earth, planets and moon, they just radiate light coming from the sun. The earth, as one of the planets of the sun, rotates on its axis in front of the sun, causing day and night to happen, and revolves around the sun, causing variations of seasons. The moon, brightened with the light received from the sun, revolves around the earth as its satellite. The Quran also provides the basis to link the two ways of calculating days, months and years through the movement of the sun and the moon. Such revelations were made by the Quran in the 7th century, while science discovered these facts just in recent past. That witnesses divinity of the Quran, truth of the Quran. Now we will look at some Quranic verses revealing these wonders of nature and the scientific discoveries confirming these revelations. So, dear friends, the Quran makes an amazing distinction between the celestial bodies of the space, which include the stars and the sun, and terrestrial bodies of the earthly neighborhood, which include the planets, the earth and the moon. Stars and the sun generate light, produce, and energy by consuming their stocks of fuel, and the earth, on the other hand, the earth and other planets and the moon receive the light from the sun and get brightened as a consequence. Understand? For celestial bodies are stars and sun, the word najm, Arabic word najm, is used, while for planets and satellites the word kawakib is used in Arabic. For further distinction, the words siraj and ash-shams are used for the sun, and the words al-arz and al-qamar are respectively used for the earth and the moon. Note the words of the two verses. Ayat 3 of Surah At-Tariq says, "It is the star that pierces through the darkness, An-Najmus Saqib." The ayat reveals two great facts about the stars. They are the source of light and they pierce through the thick clouds of darkness caused by dark matter. The word star, najm, is qualified by the adjective saqib, which indicates that the star burns and consumes itself as it pierces through dark matter to enlighten and energize the atmosphere. The sun, as one of the stars, serves this duty for its family, the earth and the moon and other planets as well. The planets and the moon of the earthly heaven receive light and energy from the sun and glitter, shines like ornaments, as they have been called Kawakib in ayat 6 of Surah As-Safat, which says, "Indeed, we have adorned, decorated the earthly heaven with ornaments," means the planets. Let me recite the Arabic ayat. Inna zayyanna as-samaa ad-dunya bizinatil kawakib. What a beautiful verse. So, dear friends, the Quran has consistently and distinctly, clearly described in several verses that the sun is a light generating phenomenon, and the earth and moon displays this light by getting brightened from the light of the sun. Science has now confirmed this fact, describing that the sun has been generating and emitting light and energy by consuming 4 million tons of hydrogen per second for the last 5 billion years. It converts hydrogen nuclei into helium in nuclear fusion process to generate energy and light. Science has also confirmed the Qur'anic view that the sun, like every creation, has limited lifespan, not unlimited. It, over the 14-15 billion years, will exhaust its stocks of hydrogen and helium, and thus it will gradually fade away, becoming dimmer and dimmer until it will finally cease to generate light altogether, turning into a black dwarf. This inevitable fact is precisely described in ayat 1 and 2 of Surah At-Takwir. What a beautiful ayat. Iza shamsu kuvvirat wa izan najumun kadarat. Translation is, when the sun is shrouded in darkness, and when the stars fall, losing their luster. This is end of the stars and the sun. Some more Quranic verses revealing ultimate demise of the sun as energy generating body are shown on the screen. Please have a look and study them at your time available. So, dear friends, by now, with advances in technology, science is convinced that sun is the only source of light in the solar system, family of the sun. The moon is not a source of light, rather it reflects the light coming from the sun. The Quran has made distinction between the two very clearly. The word siraj is used for the sun, which means a lamp that burns and gives off its own heat and light. Words munir and nur are used for the moon, that refers to a light reflecting bright body. Let us study a few verses to know this distinction, to make the distinction. Ayat 61 of Surah Al-Furqan says, Tabarakallazi ja'ala fis samai burujan wa ja'ala fiha sirajan wa kamaram munira. Blessed is He, blessed is God, Allah, who has placed in the sky great stars There is no number is attached. The stars are innumerable and placed therein a burning lamp, sun, and luminous moon, glittering, reflecting moon. Ayat 16 of Surah Nuh says, وَجَعَلَ الْقَمَرَ فِيهِنَّ نُورًا وَجَعَلَ الشَّمْسَ سِرَاجًا, and made the moon therein in the sky a reflected light, and made the sun a burning lamp. Just imagine the divinity of Quran. These are verses revealed 1500 years ago. Ayat 13 of Surah An-Naba says, وَجَعَلْنَا سِرَاجًا وَهَّاجًا, and installed in the heaven the sun, a burning lamp. Ayat 1 to 4 of Surah Ash-Shams say, وَالشَّمْسِ وَالضُّحَاهَا وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا جَلَّاهَا وَلَلَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَاهَا. Let me translate. By the sun and its morning brightness, and the moon when it follows it, and by the day as it displays the sun's glory, and the night when it conceals it. So, dear friends, as we mentioned in the beginning of our discussion, the Quran also provides the basis to link the two ways of calculating days, months, and years through the movement of the sun and the moon. Two ways. In this context, let us study Ayat 5 of Surah Yunus, which says, هُوَ الَّذِي جَعَلَ الشَّمْسَ ضِيَاءً وَالْقَمَرَ نُورًا وَقَدَّرَهُ مَنَازِلَ لِتَعْلَمُوا عَدَدَ السِّنِينَ وَالْحِسَابَ مَا خَلَقَ اللَّهُ ذَلِكَ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ يُفَصِّلُ الْآيَاتِ لِقَوْمٍ يَعْلَمُونَ. Let me translate. It is He, Allah, who made the sun a shining light and the moon a derived light, and determined for it phases, for the moon phases, that you may know the number of years and account of time. Allah has not created this except in truth. He details the signs for a people who know, who has knowledge, who contemplate, who think. The ayat refers to the movement of both the sun and the moon as the basis for measurement of time and days, months, and years. Very interesting. There is another ayat of Surah Yasin that says, and the moon we have determined for its phases. And the moon we have determined for it phases until it returns appearing like the old date stalk, very thin, line. It seeks our attention to the fact that these calculations will be performed according to the positions of the moon as it revolves in its orbit around the earth, and along with the earth, it also revolves around the sun, because it is satellite of the earth. When earth will revolve, moon will also revolve around the sun. So moon revolves around the sun as well as around the earth. Since the angles between the earth and the moon and the sun constantly change, we see the moon in different forms at different times. the whole, the half, and very, very, thin line. Moreover, our ability to see the moon is made possible by the fact that it is illuminated by the sun. Very important. Thus, the calculation of time from the movement of the sun is closely linked with the movement of the sun. Under the lunar system, what is lunar system? Related with the moon. Under the lunar system, a month is calculated as the time between two full moons. It is the time the moon takes to complete one revolution around the earth. According to this revolution, one lunar month is equal to 29 days, 12 hours and 44 minutes and 44 minutes. I may repeat, one lunar month is equal to 29 days, 12 hours and 44 minutes, and 12 lunar months represent 1 year. It is known as the Hijri calendar, Islamic calendar. Whereas according to the Gregorian calendar, related with the sun, solar movement, a year is the time it takes the earth to orbit the sun. In between the two calendars, we find 11 days difference. Very, very important. Keep in mind, what is the difference? 11 days difference, which has been mentioned in ayat 25 of Surah Al-Kahf in the context of Sahabe Kahf's stay in the cave. The ayat says, note the words, they Sahabe Kahf stayed in their cave for 300 years and added 9. How much? 300 years and 9. In fact, this statement advises to add 11 days to each year of Hijri calendar to equate it with the Gregorian calendar. Let us see the calculations on the screen. 300 years multiplied by 11 is equal to 3300 days. One solar or Gregorian year is of 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes and 45.5 seconds, or 365.24 days. Understand? If 3300 days are divided by 365.24 days, it is equal to 9 years. How many? 9 years. Thus, 300 years of Gregorian calendar are equal to 300 added by 9 years of Hijri calendar. Means 909. 300 years of Gregorian is equal to 309 years of Hijri calendar. It's a miracle of Qur'an. This is the difference of 9 years that has been precisely mentioned in ayat 25 of Surah Al-Kahf by saying they stayed in their cave for 300 years and added 9. What a miraculous information given by Qur'an 1500 years ago. So, dear friends, with this we conclude our discussion under lecture 283. Please subscribe Idea Foundation YouTube channel to watch videos of previous lectures and join us for the noble cause. Thank you friends for participation. Allah Hafiz.